motto of our parliament in its place at the entrance of the chamber of the House. And the motto, as you can read, is for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people. When I first came here, it read for the welfare of society and for the just government of men. So the women, you have won the battle. Now it is the people and not men. Finally, honorable members, let me wish all of you success individually as members and collectively as a House throughout this part of the second session. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Honorable members at the bar, take your seats. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, I have a few messages to deliver to the House. Take your seat. Honorable members, this first is a message from the President. Nomination of persons for appointment as Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya and Director General of the National Intelligence Service. Honorable members, Standing Order 42.2 relating to messages from the President provides that if a message is received from the President at a time when the House is not in session, the Speaker shall forthwith cause the message to be transmitted to every member and shall report the message to the House on the day the House next sits. Further, honorable members, you recall that on Wednesday, 15th February 2023, the House resolved that should the Speaker receive any message from the President, National Executive of the Senate during recess, the Speaker shall forthwith refer the message to the relevant committee without recalling the House. The House also resolved that whenever the Speaker invokes this resolution, the Speaker shall report to the House upon resumption. In this regard, honorable members, I wish to report to the House that during the May 2023 recess, I received 2 messages from His Excellency the President regarding nomination of persons for appointment to various state offices. In the first message, His Excellency the President conveyed his nomination of Dr. Kamau Thuge CBS for appointment as Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, following the recommendation of the Public Service Commission. In doing so, His Excellency the President invoked the provisions of Article 231(1) of the Constitution, as read together with Section 13(1) of the Central Bank of Kenya Act Cap 491 and Section 3 and 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011. For clarity, Article 231(1) of the Constitution establishes the Central Bank of Kenya, while Section 13(1) of the CBK Act provides that there shall be a governor who shall be appointed by the President through a transparent and competitive process with the approval of the National Assembly. In this regard, honorable members, and in keeping with the House resolution, I refer the message together with the CV and the relevant documentation of the nominee to the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning to undertake the approval hearing. I also directed the clerk to transmit the message to all members of the National Assembly via my notification number 002 of 16th May 2023. Honorable members, it's expected that the committee has already commenced approval hearings and should table its report on or before tomorrow, Wednesday, 7th June 2023, to enable the House to conclude the matter within the statutory timelines. Honorable members, the second message from the President relates to the nomination of Mr. Nuruddin Haji CBS for appointment as Director General of the National Intelligence Service. The message conveys that pursuant to the provisions of Article 242 of the Constitution, as read together with Section 7(1) of the National Intelligence Service Act 2012 and Sections 3 and 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011, the President nominated Mr. Nuruddin Haji, CBS, for appointment as the Director General of the National Intelligence Service. Honorable members, Article 242 of the Constitution establishes the National Intelligence Service, while Section 7(1) of the National Intelligence Service Act 2012 provides that there shall be a Director General of the Service who shall, with the approval of the National Assembly, be appointed by the President. Honorable members, Section 7(3) of the National Intelligence Service Act 2012 states that the National Assembly shall, within 14 days after it first meets, after receiving the names of the nominee, consider the suitability of the nominee and either approve or reject the nominee for appointment. Similarly, honorable members, in keeping with the House resolution, I also refer the message together with the CV and the relevant documentation of the nominee to the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations for the committee to undertake the approval hearing. I also directed the clerk to transmit the message to all members of the National Assembly via my notification number 003 of 19th May 2023. The Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations is expected to expedite the approval process and table its report on or before Tuesday, 13th June 2023, to allow the House to consider the nominee with the prescribed statutory timelines. Honorable members, the House is accordingly guided. I thank you. Members at the bar, take your seats. I have other communications. On? Yes. I have. Yes, Honorable Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I rise on Standing Order 42, 4 on messages from the President, and Part 4 talks about messages from the CS. And Mr. Speaker, it's about a message that you read to the House here last year before we went on the last recess from the CS for Treasury, where he had indicated that he would be releasing funds for the National Government Constituency Development Fund to a tune of to a tune of about 2 billion per week. And later on, Mr. Speaker, he defaulted. Later, when we were doing an induction of our new members, he also again sent you with a written communication which you delivered in Mombasa. And again, he had also promised to be releasing 2 billion per week. Mr. Speaker, the financial year is coming to an end very soon, and members have not received this money in their constituencies for development. And so, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to ask that you help us to protect the dignity of the House, because the letters came through you, you read them to us, they are unanswered, and they have not been fulfilled. And once beaten, twice shy, Mr. Speaker. And you being third in command in the country, Mr. Speaker, you need to save this House so that we don't become the laughingstock of the nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We need your guidance, please.
Honorable Mbui, let me finish with the messages, then we can come back to what you're saying. Honorable members, the second message is a message from His Excellency the President, and it's on nomination of persons for appointment to the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, and the Commission on Revenue Allocation. Honorable members, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 42, I wish to convey the following two messages from His Excellency the President regarding nomination of persons for appointment as a member of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, and chairperson of the Commission on Revenue Allocation, respectively. In the first message, honorable members, His Excellency the President conveys that in exercise of powers conferred on him by Article 232(b)(1) of the and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission Act 2011, the President nominates Dr. Phyllis Wambui Wagasha as a member of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. Honorable members, the second message from the President relates to the nomination of a person for appointment as a chairperson of the Commission on Revenue Allocation, CRA. The message conveys that pursuant to Article 215(2)(a) of the Constitution and Section 3 and 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approvals Act number 33 of 2011, the President nominates CPA Mary A.C. Wanyonyi as chairperson of the Commission on Revenue Allocation. Honorable members, His Excellency the President now seeks the approval of the nominees by this House. Honorable members, Standing Order 45 provides that upon receipt of notification of a nomination for appointment, such a nomination shall stand committed to the relevant departmental committee for consideration. In this regard, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 45 and Paragraph 3 of the Standing Order 42, messages from the President, I hereby refer the messages from His Excellency the President together with the CV, the report of the selection panel, and other testimonials of the nominees. With regard to the nominee for appointment as a member of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, to the Departmental Committee on Labor, and with regard to the nominee for appointment as chairperson of the Commission on Revenue Allocation, to the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Honorable members, whereas the enabling statutes provide for 14 days within which the House is expected to consider such nominees, Section 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011 requires the National Assembly to undertake the exercise within 28 days. In this regard, honorable members, the committees are expected to immediately commence the approval process and notify the nominees and the general public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings, and thereafter, upon conclusion of the hearings, table their report by 27th June 2023 to enable the House to consider the business within the prescribed statutory timelines. The House is accordingly guided. I thank you. Members at the bar, take your seats. Take the nearest seat. I have another communication. The nearest seat. Obviously, the word nearest is strange to Honorable Kaluma. Okay. Honorable members, the next message is also from His Excellency the President, and this is nomination of persons for appointment as principal secretaries. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 42, I wish to convey a message from His Excellency the President regarding nomination of persons for appointment as principal secretaries. In the message, His Excellency the President conveys that in exercise of powers conferred on him by Article 132(2)(d) of the Constitution as read together with Sections 3 and 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011, he nominates the following persons for appointment as principal secretaries. 1, Ms. Salome Wairimu Muhia Biako, State Department for Correctional Services, Minister of Interior and National Administration. 2, Ms. Anne Njokiwa Ng'ombe, State Department for Performance Management and Delivery Services, Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Honorable members, Article 132(2)(d) of the Constitution provides that the President shall nominate and with the approval of the National Assembly appoint and may dismiss principal secretaries. In this regard, His Excellency the President now seeks the approval of the said persons by the National Assembly. Honorable members, Standing Order 45(1) requires that upon receipt of notification of nomination of appointments, such nominations shall stand committed to the relevant departmental committees for consideration. In this regard, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 45 and paragraph 3 of Standing Order 42, messages from the President, I hereby refer the message from the President, together with the certificate of presidential nominations, the CVs, and other testimonials of the nominees to the respective departmental committees as follows. In regard with Salome Wairim Muhia Biako, the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. With regard to Anne Njoki Wangombe, Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Honorable members, Section 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011 requires the National Assembly to consider such nominations within 28 days. In this regard, the committees are expected to immediately commence the approval process and notify the nominees and the general public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings. Thereafter, upon conclusion of the said hearings, table their respective reports on or before Wednesday, 28th June 2023, to enable the House to consider the matter with the prescribed statutory timelines. I thank you. On the matter raised by the Honorable Mbui, I think the answer or the response should come from the majority leader, because we have been working with him on this matter. And the majority leader will wield more authority on this than the chair CGF.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I'll beg your indulgence because I had engaged with the CS National Treasury last week, and he indicated they're in the process working on both disbursements for the counties and the NGCDF, but to be able to give a more appropriate answer, I will beg you give me up to Thursday afternoon or tomorrow afternoon for me to get back to him to get the actual status.
You can bring a statement on the actual status on Thursday afternoon.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me also to take this opportunity to welcome back all the members back to the House after the short but long working recess. And also thank members because many of them were very active in committees, both departmental committees and also the select committees that had opportunity to sit. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 6th June 2023. 1, legal notice number 40 relating to the excise duty amendment regulations 2023 and the explanatory memorandum from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. 2, legal notice number 56 relating to the universities regulations 2023 and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Education. 3, legal notice number 57 relating to the access to information general regulations 2023 and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy. 4, legal notice number 58 relating to the Public Finance Management National Peace Support Operations Fund Regulations 2023 and the explanatory memorandum from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. 5, the draft Public Finance Management Regulations and Public Participation Engagement Report on amendments to the PFM Act 2012 and its attendant regulations. 6, report of the special groups, youth, women, and persons with disability under the 30% preference and reservation scheme for the July to December 2022 period from the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority. 7, quarterly report of the Economic and Budgetary Review for the financial year 2022-2023 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. 8, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements in respect of the following institutions for the year ended 30th June 2022 and the certificates therein. A, Kenya Law Reform Commission. B, Office of the Data Protection Commissioner. C, Kipchabo Tea Factory. D, Kenya Dairy Board. E, the Orange Democratic Movement Party. F, Jubilee Party. G, Kenya Veterinary Vaccines Production Institute. H, Kenya National Library Service. I, New Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited. J, New Kenya Planters Cooperative Union, New KPCU. K, Communications Authority of Kenya, Universal Service Fund. I, Kenya Leather Development Council. M, Agricultural Development Corporation. N, Technical and Vocational Education and Training Authority. O, Universities Fund. P, National Environment and Management Authority. Q, Kenya Medical Supplies Authority. R, KAS-FC Talanta. S, Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service. T, Kenya National Innovation Agency, Kenya. U, National Museums of Kenya. V, National Council for Persons with Disabilities. W, Kenya Film Commission. X, Assets Recovery Agency. Y, Communications Authority of Kenya. And lastly, the Western Kenya Rice Mills Limited. Honorable Speaker, I am asked by the Deputy Speaker to also give special recognition and welcome back to the House to the Honorable Junet Mohammed, who has been away for some time.
Honorable Junet, you seem to have been missed by your colleagues. The next is, honorable members, there are some papers to be laid by the Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee, and Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. We will stay them. They'll lay those papers around 4-5. They're still in their committee meetings. Chairperson, Committee on Regional Integration. Honorable Wanjiku Muhia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. This is the report of the Select Committee on Regional Integration on its visit to semi-autonomous institutions of the East African Community in Arusha, Tanzania from 2nd to 8th of April, 2023.
Thank you, Wanjiku Muhia. Next, the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations, Nelson Koech.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, the 6th of June, 2023, the report of the Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations on its vetting of the nominee for appointment as the Director General of the National Intelligence Service.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable members, the first is Chairperson, Committee on Budget and Appropriations. It will apply in the same manner as the laying of the paper.